Hello guys, welcome to a new video. So Tomb Raider is known for its incredible mix of adventure, mystery and danger, but sometimes the developers really push creativity to strange places, and the result was some of the weirdest and most unexpected levels in the whole series. So let's take a look at the 10 weirdest levels in Tomb Raider. 10. Kingdom. After the icy levels in Alaska, Lara discovers what seems to be a hidden temple covered in gold. Even the waterfalls shine with it. There's so much yellow everywhere that it almost feels unreal, but the mix of colors in the last two levels, like blue, orange and green, makes everything look so beautiful. It's a level you definitely don't forget. Having Sasquatches, so having them as enemies only makes things stranger, since they feel completely out of place in a temple like this. The final area, surrounded by gold, gives the last fight an epic feeling, making the whole level stand out as one of the most unusual in the series, because literally you have gold everywhere. 9. It's a Madhouse. The weirdness of its madhouse comes from how completely random and chaotic everything feels. It abandons the usual tombs and ruins for something that makes no sense at all. One moment you are in a French city, then suddenly you are in a zoo. And after that, the logic just disappears. There's cars falling for no reason, a replica of a famous French statue, weird mutants wandering around with, they seem to have human legs, but at the same time it doesn't look like human legs. I don't know, it's weird. And we even encounter floating dead bodies that make the place feel haunted. Everything about this level feels confusing, creepy and fascinating all at once. Cenote. This location is one of the most unsettling places Lara explores. Right from the start, the atmosphere feels wrong. Lara dives into a flooded cave full of bones. It looks like a place of ancient sacrifices and not a regular tomb. You hear noises that don't sound human. Then come the Yaxil, strange humanoid creatures. They attack fast, climbing out of the dark and make sounds that get under your skin. Then there's a section where you get trapped in a chamber and waves of them start attacking you from every direction. It feels less like an adventure game and more like a horror scene where you just try to survive. That mix of fear and mystery makes this place both creepy and weird, and one of the most memorable moments in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. 7. The Hall of Seasons. The Hall of Seasons lies deep beneath the surface, guarded by the dead, skeletons that chase you, and later the ghostly Brother Obscura, a boss you can't actually defeat. These enemies make perfect sense here. After all, this is a place where the dead truly protect their tomb. This tomb has a gothic feel and is divided into 4 elemental chambers: fire, wind, earth and water, each with its own set of challenges. Of all 4, the one where the floor collapses is definitely the strangest. When the floor restores itself after taking the relic, a hole appears in the center that looks like it leads to another dimension. And to make things even weirder, there are skeletons that can literally cast fire. The structure of this tomb feels inspired by the classics like Saint Francis Folly and the Tomb of Khamun from the first Tomb Raider. It's vertical, interconnected, and you need to collect items from different rooms to progress. It also feels like a labyrinth. You have to pull the right levers to open the correct doors, while being chased by skeletons. And if you choose wrong, you end up in a deadly trap room. Later, you even need to activate a strange machine that sets huge pillars in motion in the main chamber, where a stunning piece of art decorates the floor. Finally, at the top of the tomb, there's a unique boss encounter. You don't fight him directly, instead, you have to stop him for a moment to grab the Obscura painting, the one illuminated by the light. It's such a strange and different mechanic, and I still wish I fully understood why it works that way. But that's what makes the All of Season so interesting. It's mysterious, unsettling, and beautifully weird. 6. Avalon. You know a place is going to be strange when the entrance can only be opened by having an Atlantean god performing a ritual and using Thor's hammer. The realm of Avalon immediately feels different. It's ancient but otherworldly, covered in glowing runes and strange blue liquid that kills you when you touch it. What's even weirder is that creatures actually come out of this liquid. The trolls. They look like zombie creatures and there's so many of them. And then comes the most shocking moment. Lara finally finds her mother, but she is a troll. After all those years of searching, Lara is forced to shoot her, making this one of the most sad moments in the series. At the end, Natla is trying to activate a massive machine to start a so-called new age. And in an unexpected twist, even Lara and Amanda have to team up. 5. Area 51. People have always been fascinated by the mysteries of Area 51. So of course Lara had to break in. After all, this was the era when developers didn't worry too much about realism and could go wild with their ideas. At first, the level looks like a regular high security facility with guards, lasers, and restricted areas, but as you go deeper, things start to get strange. You find aliens being studied and even killer whales swimming calmly in a tank. They don't attack Lara at all. Then comes the biggest surprise, an actual spaceship. And somehow the inside of it is so much larger than the outside, which completely defies logic. Inside you see more alien life and advanced technology that looks completely out of place in a Tomb Raider game. Lara casually launches a missile, yes, from a top secret government base. It's completely unthinkable, but that's exactly what makes this level so iconic. It's one of those moments when Tomb Raider decided to throw logic out of the window and just have fun with the absurd. The floating islands. You start the level and suddenly you are in a completely different place from the Temple of Sion. One moment you are deep inside the temple and the next you are in this strange open void that makes no sense. All around you are green floating islands suspending in the air. For the longest time I thought the green color was grass, but later I found out it was actually jade, which somehow makes these mysterious islands even more fascinating. Not long after, you see something flying in the distance, and at first you are not sure what it is, and then it eats you. It's an enemy. These ghostly warriors glide across the air, while others jump out of their jade tombs to attack. Later, near the entrance of a temple, you see huge flames burning on the roof, making it look like the entire building is on fire. And once you go inside, things only get more surreal. The layout feels weird and confusing, but that seems to be the point. After Marco stabs himself with the dagger of Sion, we are supposed to be in another mythical realm, a place that doesn't follow rules of reality. It actually makes sense once you know the story behind it. And if you are curious about these myths behind Tomb Raider 2, I have another video where I explain it in detail, so don't forget to check it out after this one. 3. Nightmare in Vegas. This level is beautiful but completely random, and that was the idea. Every area looks and feels different, with no real logic between them. While you fight enemies, Winston calmly follows you with his tea tray. It is a ridiculous and a funny sight. You start in fancy rooms, then suddenly you are in what looks like a zoo, and later there's a room with a huge yellow sculpture that says you can't climb it, but you have to do it to move forward. Then you are in the middle of the city fighting T-Rexes, and some places are so strange they are hard to describe, but one thing is certain: you never get bored, because every room is unique. This level perfectly shows how strange and chaotic Lara dreams can be, or should I say nightmares. 2. The Haunted Ireland Islands. These islands from Tomb Raider Chronicles, some of the creepiest and weirdest levels in the entire series because of their atmosphere and how powerless Lara feels. She's still a teenager here, unharmed and completely vulnerable, which instantly makes the experience more unsettling. The environment feels cursed, the music aids to the feeling that something evil is always nearby, and these levels are packed with strange and memorable enemies. You have imps that constantly annoy you by throwing rocks at you. We have a hanging demon that tricks you, and basically a demon named Vladimir who blocks your path and even kidnaps Father Patrick. There are also floating skeletons that suddenly attack you if you get close to them. A monster in a labyrinth that feels like a werewolf and creates real tension, and a creepy figure that seems to have problems breathing, and it seems to represent that, but I'm not sure. And finally, you encounter the sea hag guarding her gold, and you have to steal it and set a trap that leads to her being eaten by imps. 1. Atlantis. There's no weirder level than Atlantis. You enter what it looks like a pyramid, and the last thing you expect to see inside is flesh covering everything. The walls pulse as if they are alive, turning the place into something straight out of a nightmare. It's creepy, a bit grotesque, and unforgettable. Then when you just start to process it, strange pods begin to hatch, and these horrifying creatures rush at you. Their white, empty eyes and wide mouths full of teeth make them very unsettling, very scary. It's the perfect recipe for a good scare. The mix of burning lava and living tissue makes it feel like you have somehow stepped into hell. And then you meet a flesh version of Lara, a doppelganger that mirrors your every move. You can't just shoot her because she copies everything you do, so you have to figure out another way to destroy Bacon Lara. This version of Atlantis is something I never imagined that existed. Sadly, with Tomb Raider Anniversary, they remade this section and it kind of lost that disturbing atmosphere. The flashy textures and terrifying enemies were replaced by a cleaner and more mechanical look, which took away the creepy vibe that made the original so memorable. Each of these levels show how unpredictable Tomb Raider can be. Some feel like nightmares, others like myths or science experiments gone wrong, but all of them are unforgettable. Which level do you think is the weirdest one? And are there any other strange Tomb Raider levels that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, like always, don't forget to leave a like to help the video reach more people and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, bye bye!